Hello, and welcome to the back room, where we talk about politics around the world, across the country, and right here in the Bronx. I'm Lisa Schiffren, your host, and
David Eisenbach, political historian.
tonight we have Larry Sharpe as our guest. Larry is running for governor here in New York. He's challenging Kathy Hochul and Bruce Blakeman, and he's a libertarian running on the Republican ticket. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yes, I am trying my best to make change in New York State.
We'll get to that
We need
in
it.
a bit. Yes, we do, and we will get to that later in this show. We're going to start with the war in Iran. We are now 3 weeks into the war in Iran, or Donald Trump would tell you we are 47 years and 3 weeks into the war in Iran, and that is also a fair way of thinking about it, I think. Goals. We are meeting our goals. It looks to me like we are meeting our goals. The leadership of the Iranian regime is gone, 3 layers down. So that's actually impressive. Although they've still got plenty of people in place to run their regime. As of today, we're in a ceasefire for 5 days while Trump negotiates with the Iranians, although he won't quite say who among the Iranians he's negotiating with. So that's a bit of a mystery. It's clearly not the foreign minister or the president. I heard today that it was the head of the IRGC, whoever that is now. This is, again, 3 down. I don't know if that's true or not. So it seems to me that even though Trump won't come out and say it, what we really need is regime change for this to have been worth the effort. It's all very well to take out nuclear materials, which I'm not sure we have actually done. We've certainly destroyed their navy, their military, and their missile supplies. So that's all good. But if there's no regime change, it seems a little pointless to me. What do you think?
You talking to me or David?
David.
Okay.
Oh, well, Lisa, if you remember our conversation before this war started,
I do.
How I predicted killing the Ayatollah would have absolutely no impact whatsoever on the regime. You get rid of that one guy. They already had a plan for how they would deal with the death of an 86-year-old. And as far as this war is concerned, if the war were going so well, Donald Trump would not suddenly announce that we're going to have peace, we're going to have a ceasefire, and this desperate move to stop a complete collapse of the world's economy, which at this point, I think it's so broken, it's going to be hard getting this toothpaste back in the bottle.
Although I would say that Donald Trump is very concerned about the midterms, and he is playing. There's a 95% support among Republicans.
Not the midterms.
Well,
this
I agree.
irresponsible, dumb war we have ever had, and we've had some dumb wars.
No,
in this
that I
country.
disagree with.
Oh, of course you disagree with it, Lisa. You disagreed with everything that I predicted that wound up being absolutely true. We have no way out of this thing. This is a Hail Mary pass to some moderates that we can somehow find who have any power right now. Right? Our credibility as a negotiating partner with the Iranians is about as low as they can get. We were in negotiations twice, and we bombed them during the negotiations.
Because they threatened us with nuclear weapons. You know what? Let's give David a chance to chime in.
You mean Larry?
Larry, I'm
no
sorry.
worries. No, David's a very handsome guy. I get it. But I'm actually smart, too. I'm kidding.
I'm sure you're smart.
I'm totally kidding. No, the reality of it is, we look at the midterms, and that's what I'm talking about here. Donald Trump is gambling hard. This is a massive gamble. If he's actually able to get some type of deal before the summer to where it looks like the Iranians are somehow satisfied, to where it looks like the Middle East is somehow satisfied, he will be a hero for the midterms. He'll get that bump that George H.W. Bush got in the early 90s. He will get that bump at the perfect time for the election. It's a big gamble. If he's unable to do so, the Republican Party is going to get slaughtered in 2026 in November, absolutely slaughtered. And here's the problem. David is correct in one very important reason. There's no reason for the Iranians to make any deal at all. If I'm an Iranian right now, I'm going to keep this until as long as I possibly can so I can put as much damage on Trump as I possibly can. If Trump can do it, he will be a hero. If he fails, the Democrats might even take the Senate if he fails. And if this war's still going on, and if we've got dead Marines or dead soldiers, if that does happen, and people are saying it might, if that does happen, and he'll be impeached next year and removed.
Well, as of today, the 82nd Airborne is on its way to Iran.
Yep.
So
31st MU
I think
also, and 11th MU. Yep.
Yes, the Marines.
Yep. I'm a Marine, that's why I know that.
Oh, are you?
Yes, indeed.
Fascinating. I think it's clear there are going to be troops involved, and there will be some death.
Yes, and if the war ends with the way I said it, Americans will be okay with it. We love victory. We love a winner. If that happens, we'll be okay. But if November comes and there's dead Marines and dead soldiers and there's no peace, he's finished.
I think it's too early for peace right now, and I'm not a fan of this ceasefire myself, but I certainly don't think Donald Trump is planning to keep this war going for months and months.
I hope
not.
not.
He originally said 4 to 5 weeks.
I hope he's right. I hope he's
It
right.
was 4 to 5
I've-
weeks.
I've seen
That
it
was
fail before.
delusional. I said this weeks ago. This war was not going to be quick. And if we have about 5,000 Marines, another 1,000 airborne troops. We're going up against a military 1 million men strong. We are going to get clobbered. Those kids are going to be slaughtered. And if you're worried about the midterms, forget it.
Well, let's be clear. Those 5,000 Marines, out of those 5,000 Marines, there's maybe 2,000 ground troops out of that. Most of that's support.
That's right.
Most people don't know
That's
that.
right.
Most of that's
There's
support.
a lot
Maybe
of support
2,000 are
there.
going to be able to
And
go in.
where are we going to put them exactly? And how are you going to supply them if the Strait of Hormuz, there's no traffic?
Well, I think Trump is planning to take over the Karg Island. And
Karg
No
Island
way.
is deep within
No
the
way.
Persian Gulf. You have to get through the Strait of Hormuz
No
to
way he
get to
takes it.
Karg Island. How's he going to get there?
Never.
And once you get it, how do you supply the troops that are
You don't.
on Karg Island?
You are correct, David. You don't. That is a disaster. He'll never take Karg Island. That is just to make people believe he is. To get to the Strait of Hormuz, the amount of damage those ships will take going through. We can't keep our current carriers out there. Our carriers are already obsolete. They're already an obsolete system. They're already broken. We shouldn't even have any of them anymore. I don't know why we even have fighters. Everything should be drones. The Ukrainians have shown us this. We send our fleet to that, they'll sink half of it. I'm not even joking. They will sink half of our destroyers. They'll sink half of it. You sink one of those ships, you got 800 dead Marines with one ship. No way. It'll never happen.
No,
He's never
that'd be a
going to Karg Island.
disaster.
Never
That
going
would
to
be a
happen.
disaster.
He's going to attack the beaches by Pakistan. That's the only place you can do. There's beaches by Pakistan. He'll land there, and that's about it.
But then you got mountains to climb, Larry, to get to Tehran. How are they going? Where are they going to go? This is a very mountainous country. You can't just take Tehran with 5,000 Marines.
I wonder if it's true that the Mossad has been arming Iranians.
They have, and the area they've been doing it is the area next to Pakistan. I forgot what it's called, Baluchistan?
Baluchistan.
Thank you, yes, that they have been. That's been happening. One of the reasons why we left so much hardware in Afghanistan when we left Afghanistan wasn't because of incompetence. We were incompetent, but that's not the reason why we did it. We did it so that they would have enough troops and enough stuff to actually fight Iran, so that Afghanistan could actually assist us in an assault against Iran.
Our old friends, the Taliban, are going to help us with the assault on Iran.
Because they love us so much, David. They love us so much.
Absolute insanity.
They love us.
Well, the
Maybe they can get
Pakistanis who are not
some
our
of those
friends.
weapons we left behind back, and they can join us in the fray. If that's the plan, I gotta say, it's delusional. Even for you, Lisa. Come on.
I agree that the Afghans are not our friends, and the Pakistanis are not our friends. They deceived us all through the Afghan war, and they want to negotiate the peace. So
Right.
this is.
These are the same people who gave
A lot could go wrong.
protection to Osama bin Laden.
That's right.
These are our friends in our new war.
You will watch
against the
Pakistan
Iranians.
offer a nuclear umbrella for Iran. They'll offer that. They'll offer nuclear.
Well, the
umbrella.
interesting thing is, it's Pakistan who Trump is using to this 15-point peace plan.
Yep.
So look, I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for peace. I allow Donald Trump to declare victory. The Iranians get the sanctions relief. We're probably going to have to give them billions of dollars to rebuild also.
I don't think we should do that. I think this is on
that's
them.
the plan. That's got to be the plan. That's
I
the
don't
only
think
hope.
we'll give them anything, David. I think what we'll do is we'll do it in some way of relief where they'll get it in the back end. I cannot imagine the United States giving them
No,
a
I
check
can't
for
either.
anything.
That makes
but
no
they'll
sense.
somehow in the back end
it'll
get the
have to
cash.
be done quick, but if they can charge a toll through the Strait of
Yep,
Hormuz.
that.
What they're doing now
Sure.
is they're taking $2 million for every tanker that goes through. If they can keep on doing that,
Yep.
then we could kind of come up with some sort of deal where both sides can at least have some saving of the face.
I think you're right.
Let's
It'll be
take
something
2
like that.
minutes and go to the SAVE Act, which is the centerpiece of Donald Trump's midterm domestic policy. This is the act to limit voting to people with IDs, with well substantiated IDs. Is it going to pass? I don't think it's going to pass. I think the Democrats are going to destroy it.
Larry, what do you think?
I think the marketing of it was terrible.
It was terrible.
And that's the biggest piece. I've complained with the Trump administration so many times. The marketing on everything they've done has been absolutely terrible. The majority of Americans are absolutely for voter ID, but this was marketed so poorly that they're actually against it.
I think the majority of Americans are not against it. Every piece of data says they're for it. 96% of Republicans, 86% of Democrats, 76% of blacks.
Yes, again, no, voter ID versus the SAVE Act, they did not link them. They're actually separate in the minds of most Americans. And that's the problem.
Well,
if you just said voter ID, if you just said that, most Americans, you're totally correct, are on board. You say SAVE Act, that's Trump's thing, therefore that's bad.
I think that ICE and the mess of Minnesota has so tainted people's thoughts on immigration right now that practical measures, which Donald Trump had the support of at the beginning of the administration, even Democrats were on board with many of them. That right now, everything is kryptonite.
Well, as of today, we've got a new Secretary of Homeland Security, so hopefully that'll change it. Right now, we have to go to break. Please stay tuned and join us when we get back. Thank you.
We are the Eco Leaders.
We learned that everything starts with ourselves. Then we have to educate ourselves. Then we have to build community and use our imagination.
Eco Leaders, step from the future to save the past. Heal the planet and make it last. We find solutions with knowledge light. Venture forth, Eco Leaders, you're Eco Leaders.
Hi, welcome back. We're going to talk a little bit about our governor, Kathy Hochul, who last week actually came out and said, all those people I insulted 2 years ago and told to leave because they're not liberals like me, I want them to come back now because we need rich people in the state of New York so I can tax them to pay for all of the programs to help the middle class. This is an astonishing thing to say. It is pathetic and ridiculous, and it's obviously not going to work. What do you think, Larry?
I think it totally makes sense in that it's how it works. They've been telling us for years that people don't leave New York State and they love the state and we can tax them all we want. And it's never been true. It's always been a lie. And finally, the chickens have come home to roost. So, yeah, of course, we need to have wealthy people in New York City. Of course, we have to have wealthy people across the state. Someone's got to pay for the tax base. And the problem is we just keep the bad system going so that more people become engaged in the bad system. We never changed the system. It is actually irrelevant.
When you say system, what do you mean?
I mean how we do things like Medicaid, Medicare, how we do things like unfunded mandates, how we spend money on industrial. We have a migrant industrial complex. We have a homeless industrial complex. We don't solve things, we just service things. And as we keep servicing things, it keeps growing. So we keep needing more money and more services. We don't solve problems. If we solved problems, we could actually save money. We never solve them.
What do you think, David?
I think Larry's right. I think that if you look at the growth of government and government expenditure, not just in the state, but look at what's going on with the city and this massive. It keeps growing. Last time I heard, we got like $17 billion budget hole. How can that possibly be filled? And there was a time when, if you were a rich person in New York City, the social life was here, you had to work here too. Now with Zoom calls and with Palm Beach booming and Miami booming, you can have your place in the city, but you're not a permanent resident which is paying taxes. You're down in Florida already.
And
so
the lockdowns,
this is a real problem for us.
The
All of
lockdowns
us,
is what
not just the rich, because it's going to fall on the middle class too.
It does.
No,
The
of
average
course.
person who leaves New York, it makes about $400,000 a year. The average person, which means many make whole lot more.
So that's upper
Some make a
middle
lot
class.
less. Yes, but a lot make a whole lot less. They're packing them, leaving, and we have a thing now in New York, which I warned years ago. It's a thing called zombie houses. It's actually on the government website. It is people, particularly upstate, who simply can't afford to move, so they just pack up and leave. They don't care if they have a lease. They don't care if they have a mortgage. People walk by and go, is someone going to mow that lawn? Because the lawn's overgrown. They have no idea. They walk in and they go, oh, nobody lives here anymore. And they don't care. They say, find me, sue me if you want to. I'll be in Florida or Tennessee. Good luck. I can't afford to live here anymore. And you don't see anybody talking about fixing it. In fact, what we're doing is we're making things more expensive. So our answer isn't fix the system, make things cheaper. Our answer is get rich people to come back. How? We already have a problem with this. We can't get companies to come to our state because we're so unfriendly to businesses. Micron's never going to actually come here. They say they are, but they're actually not. Why? Because we don't have enough energy for them. We give them tons of. We offered Amazon $2 billion to come to New York, and they said no. For $2 billion, I'll move to the moon. And they wouldn't come. That's how bad it is. You would think that we would say to ourselves, wait a minute, if I have to keep bribing people to come here, maybe I should change my system.
Right. Well, Kathy Hochul is going to change the system. She's going to make it worse by humoring Zohran Mamdani, who last week told us that he wanted a 50% estate tax. 50%. Only 12 states in the country have an estate tax. A couple of states also have an inheritance tax. But 50% of whatever you're leaving your kids, this is above $750,000, that will send the middle class flying.
And on top of that, forget about the rich people. They are totally gone.
Yes, absolutely. And not just that,
And
the
New
average
York
house
City
across New
needs
York
that.
State.
New York City needs the very wealthy to fund its massive budgets.
And 750,000, I mean, if you look at someone who's a homeowner across New York State, that's a whole lot of homeowners.
Right, that's all the homeowners.
That's a lot. I mean, there's a couple places upstate where that they're not.
Right,
but
right,
most
right.
places across New York State, if you own your home, that's $750,000 or more. It probably is. So that makes you, by default, someone who's going to lose a bunch of cash. So why would you stay? It's an insane idea. Look, the reality of it is what you need to do is you have to have one thing, which is a growth plan. There's no growth plan. There's always a let's just raise more money. But where's the private sector growth? There is none. Why would you come here?
Well, that is because they are Democrats and socialists.
So where's the Republican plan? There is none. We talk about this. There's no Republican plan.
Well, there are no Republicans.
Yes,
no
there
Republicans
are tons
have
of
power.
them. Bruce Blakeman's running right now. Where's his plan? Last time Zeldin ran, where's his plan? Before that, Molinaro ran, where's his plan? Before that, Astorino ran, where's his plan? No plans. There's no plan. The Republicans aren't going to fix this state. For 25 years, the Democrats have been running this state clearly. No Republican has won any statewide election in this state in 24 years. Not AG, not senator, not governor, nothing. So if the Democrats were going to fix this state, they would have fixed it. If the Republicans were going to fix it, they would have had a plan. There's no plan. There's not one person watching this show right now who can tell me what the Republican plan to fix things are. Not one, because it doesn't exist.
That is very sad.
Yes.
I agree with Larry 100%.
No, I
and
do
this is why
too.
people should vote for Larry Sharpe for governor.
Correct.
Right.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and tell us about your plans in terms of party building,
Well,
so
what's
that we
your plan
don't
to
have
fix
a
the
one-party
economy?
system, which is what we have now. And
I'm
it's
going to give
totally
you one
corrupt.
actual plan that we can do. We can actually build a sovereign fund for New York State. Countries have it. Norway has one. Singapore has one. New York City is the financial capital of this state. If we of this country, if we can't build a sovereign fund, no one can. It must be a separate company, just like Singapore has, a separate CEO, a separate board. You create a sovereign fund. Immediately you create that. Within 2 years, you allow other people to put it in. You also give big business the opportunity to put money in also, so they want to put money into it, right? Just like Governor Singapore, just like Norway, big business puts tons of money into those funds. Within 2 years, you can pay for education directly out of that fund. If you pay for education directly out of that fund, two things happen. Number one, our education budget now is about $40 billion a year. I just cut my budget $40 billion. Number two, if I'm having the fund pay for school, why do we need school tax? We don't. Depending upon where you are across this state, I've just cut your your
Those are
property
property
tax
taxes.
by about 50%, give or take. I just gave you a property tax cut and a budget cut with one idea. I have tons more. New York City, how do we fix the MTA? Two good ideas. Number one, why don't we have freight coming into New York City at night? At night right now, about 1/3 of the trains actually run, give or take. So why can't one of those trains, instead of running that way, become freight coming in? Freight comes in, I got less wear and tear on my roads because trucks aren't coming in. And guess what? You have to rebuild that entire system. Who will rebuild it? Amazon will rebuild it. Yeah, it would. So would UPS, so would FedEx. Amazon's marketing budget is like $10 billion a year. They would easily rebuild the entire system for a couple of $1 billion so they can get access to this city. Of course they would. 8.5 million people coming on in? Great idea. Now we're getting a whole new system without one taxpayer dollar. I'm still not done. Why aren't we leasing naming rights out to bridges? I got an RFK bridge, I got a George Washington bridge. Why don't I have a Kellogg's bridge or a Google bridge or a Pepsi bridge? Larry, I don't like that, but I don't care if you like it or not. They'll pay $100 million for that bridge. I know that because when I brought this up in 2018, bankers came to me and said, Larry, how long's the lease? I said 12 years front loaded. They went, deal, I'm in.
Wow.
They dropped $20 million for a stadium used on the weekends. I'm giving you a bridge that's crossed by 1 million people every single day, that is talked about across all TV and media on traffic reports every day in a 16 million person metro area. And every time someone does a TV show or a movie and they show the skyline, you just got product placement.
What
They're
would you
happy
do?
to
What
have
would
that.
you do about education? New York scores are in the
Terrible.
sewer.
Absolutely horrible. As I said, you pay directly from.
No, but not paying, fixing.
But that's what matters. You just hit a point.
Well, we already spend so much. We
the
get
money-
disastrous results.
But the results aren't because of the money. The results are because of the strings attached. Why do we right now send all our kids into college no matter what? How come we don't put them in the trades? Why? Because federal funds go to schools based upon college placement. So the school gets paid based upon putting kids into college, not based on whether that kid actually should go to college or not. They don't care. They shove every kid into college. In fact, our BOCES system now, our trade school system, is used for the bad kids now. It's used as a babysitting place for bad kids now. That's how we use it now. We don't use it to train them. We don't have the average tradesman in New York State is over 50.
Oh.
Yes, that's terrible. Now, I'm over 50. I'm not mad at my 50-year-olds. I'm not mad at them. But they should not be the average. The average should be 35. The 50-year-old shouldn't have the hammer in his hand anymore. But he does. Because we don't do anything.
And with AI and whatnot threatening the job market,
Absolutely.
we
So-
need plumbers. We
Yes.
need
So why are
roofers.
we shoving him in? Because here's reality. Right now in New York State, the customer is not the parent or the kid. They're in the way. The customer is the government. That's why we have more, in many places in New York State, we have more administrators than we have teachers. Those administrators are in a building someplace, they don't see the kids at all, and they're just making the government happy. That's all they're doing, is making the government happy. Not just that, if you don't spend the money, you lose it.
Well, the teachers' unions are part of the problem.
Yes, they are, because teachers' unions aren't for teachers, they're for administrators. That's the reason why. Teachers love what I say, administrators can't stand it. Yes, teachers love it. Teachers want to vote for me all the time. Not administrators, they don't. My whole goal is let teachers teach. I don't want strings attached from the federal or the state government. I don't want that at all. In our unified school system, we tell teachers to go get master's degrees, go get all kind of credentials, then they show up and administrators tell them what to do. If we're going to do that, why are they getting credentialed? Just get people out of high school and be told what to do. If I trust my teachers, let them teach. That's why I make them jump through hoops.
The state of Mississippi in the last decade and a half
Mm-hmm.
went from 49th in reading scores for fourth graders
Yep.
to 9th.
Yep.
And they did it not by letting teachers teach. They did it by teaching teachers how to teach reading. And that's what our teachers' unions prevent.
Of course. They literally, our mayor before, Mayor Adams, he said his words were, "We're going to finally teach our kids to read." That's what he said. What have you been doing for 30 years? He said that. That's his words. Why? Because again, the state controls it. The state says we're doing Common Core. Disaster. The state says we're doing sight words and we're not doing phonics. Disaster. Why does the state in charge? Local people control locally. Will they make mistakes? Yes. And when they make a mistake, it affects one group of kids for 1 year. When we make a mistake, it affects an entire generation. New York State kids can't read or do math. I'm not making it up. We're 28th in the country.
No, it's ridiculous.
We spend the most in the world, by the way. In the world. No other country, no other state in the world spends more than we spend on education, and we're 28th out of 50. It isn't the dollars. Let teachers teach. Here's the thing people don't understand. Centralized control of education has never worked, will never work. Every single president we've ever had, everyone has been educated before there was the Department of Education. Department of Education popped up in around 1980 or so, give or take, right? Every president we ever had has been educated prior to 1980. So somehow we went to the moon, we fought World War II, we started the internet, we did all these things without centralized control.
We've only got 1 minute left.
Sorry. LarrySharpe.com, everybody. LarrySharpe.com.
Larry Sharpe. And by the way, Larry, I think you have a chance of really shocking the system because a lot of angry Democrats like me are going to vote for you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Well, I hope that's true. We need to have our 1 minute devoted to Mayor Mondami, who's, in addition to his idiotic estate tax, last week we learned that his wife has spent the last many years writing truly hateful and vicious anti-Semitic stuff on social media. She didn't believe anybody was raped on October 7th. She's a big supporter of Hamas. She's a big supporter of death to Jews. And his response to this is, she's a private person. Ridiculous. She's not a private person. She's the First Lady of the City of New York.
Larry, what do you think?
I don't care. I think he's right. I didn't vote for her. I mean, I didn't vote for him either. But we didn't vote for her. If he has to deal with that in any way he wants to deal with it, that's not going to affect anyone in New York City doing anything. It's not going to make me pay my rent. My kids still don't know how to read. I still can't pay my electric bill.
You don't think it affects the culture?
Not at all. There's a whole lot of New Yorkers who are anti-Semitic already. Those who are anti-Semitic are still anti-Semitic. They didn't become extra because of her. No one's looking at her and going, I wasn't anti-Semitic. Oh, she is? Now I am. No one's done that. The people who are anti-Semitic are already anti-Semitic. We see the rise in it all over. She's not helping or harming. He is different. He has to have the right answer, but not her.
On that note, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Good night.